Good morning and welcome to another Paint and Coffee. I am Daniel Cervantes and I am the Christian Adventure Gamer. And today we're actually going to be adding some washes to this dragon. I actually did a video to upload for yesterday. However, I must not have had the mic on, or I'm not sure what happened, but it recorded no sound. But yesterday we did all the touch-ups. Painted the teeth white, painted the inside of the mouth red, and then touched the back of the throat hole with black, colored the eyes white, and put yellow on them. So, that's what we have so far. Now we're all ready for our washes. But first, I think, before I add any wash, I'm going to highlight his scales here. I think the best way to do that is let's see here. I think in burnt orange will work best. And hopefully you guys are doing good today. It's actually Sunday. I've had a really hectic week with my wife's schedule, my work schedule, getting all the other videos uploaded for Gen Con and all that great stuff. And so I'm actually just going to run this color along the bottom of the scales in each set. I learned this trick from watching Painters Guild with Will Friedle. I really like the videos he does on Alpha. It is a subscription to watch Alpha, but it's definitely worth watching. You learn a lot of really cool stuff. Will Friedle never painted before, and so he learns a lot of good techniques from mastered level painters. Even Matt Mercer was on there. All that does is make those scales stand out just that much more. So as you can see here, now they pop. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the horns and the scales on the back, because they look like bone platelets, and I want to make sure that that's what they are. So I'm going to add Seraphim Sera, because if it does not look right with the wash, and then I'm going to try to paint them a color to match scales. But see, on this picture here of this dragon, it doesn't show bone platelets, it actually shows spikes, but there's only so many spikes on its back, so it's a little confusing there. And I'm going to get a good brush to do painting, or not painting, sorry, washing. I don't want to use my good brushes for that. There we go. And gotta drink some coffee. Don't forget to have your coffee. Hopefully today you guys are painting with me. Also, I'd love to make this interactive. How can I make this more interactive? I mean, should I set up for live? Should I just read comments from previous videos that I did. I mean, what would help you to communicate with me? Yeah, it looks pretty good now. Look at that. I think it hides it a lot bit better. I think it makes it look a lot better. I was hoping it would. That's why I like this Seraphim Sepia. Yeah, look at that. Gives it this really nice bone look. Gotta get his claws. And claws there. His teeth and everything else I'm gonna do a different wash. Yeah, I like the way that's turning out. Nice. So, now it looks like really nice bone platelets. And I have some polished bone that I can actually highlight his horns with once it dries. Alright, since now I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm actually going to take this glaze, bloodletter glaze. And I love using Citadel washes and glazes. I mean, I have some washes from River Paint, but I prefer to use Citadel. Basically, glazes are a lot thinner than washes. At least they're supposed to be. It's gonna give them this wet, bloody mouth look. That's what I'm really wanting. I don't know if you can see that. It's like he's just been ripped into someone. Have Cassandra yellow. I also have this lantern yellow. And I thought maybe about putting this lantern yellow on his best breastplate. And this is a glaze as well. Also, if you haven't been paying attention to my channel, I am running contests periodically, and I do have some contests going on, so make sure you go out and check out some of my videos to find out what contests I'm running, and I have more coming up once we get through Gen Con. And so I'm actually going to do the Nolan oil, since I'm waiting for the other things to dry. Oh yeah, I like the way that's looking. So what do you think of my paint jobs? I'm not a professional by any means. But I want to know what you think. You like them? Can I do better? What are some better tips for me? What am I missing? Help me to become a better painter. So, I'm just curious, what games are you excited for that are going to come out at Gen Con this year? As I'm sitting here painting this. There's a few different games. Obviously, I have a family, so I think of family games and games I work with kids and stuff like that. So I know there's one game called Dino Dunk that I'm actually kind of excited to see and check out, get my hands on. This one is an actual flicking game. You're working to get little tokens from a dinosaur to a dinosaur, like basketball, and then you're shooting the pucks or the little tokens into volcanoes, like you're shooting baskets. So what's another game I'm looking forward to? Everdell. The game looks really cool, or at least the collector's edition looks really cool, and that's the edition I really want to get my hands on. I'm going to take some of this excess off of here. Maybe even get some water on it, because I don't want it to be too thick. That's the nice thing about washes too, is if it gets too thick, you can just kind of dab your brush and remove some of the it's going to look really good when it dries. I also painted the clamps and the window seal metal, so it looks like metal. Alright. And so I'm just going to use a detailing brush because I don't want to get too much on there. And if you look at his teeth, look how bloody they look. I need to go make a list of what glazes I want and what glazes I have. I actually went to the Game Annex in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is an awesome hobby store. They got a lot of things going on all the time. They know their games. One of the owners, she is always at Gen Con every year helping out with Arcane Wonders. Her name is Dawn, and her husband, I do believe it's her husband, helps run the shop as well. But they always got people in there. They always got free play going on. It's just an awesome game store. I've never seen one like it. Definitely worth checking out if you're in the area. Alright, so now we're going to take some Casadora Yellow. Very careful not to hit any of the bone or claws, because I don't want them changing color. See, what's another game I'm looking forward to? Villainous is my #1 pick. Not just because it's a family game, but because the artwork is just beautiful. It's stunning. It's definitely caught my attention. I mean, obviously I like Disney movies. I grew up watching them and stuff. But typically I don't pick Disney type games. But because it looks so family friendly, I mean, the artwork is beautiful. I've watched Rodney Smith explain the game, and it looks like a really, really solid game. So that is one game I am extremely excited to get my hands on. And typically my wife likes to demo games before she makes the decision to actually purchase them by any means. But this is one game she said, go ahead and get it. So that must say a lot about the game and how she perceives it. So yeah, There we go. Yeah, I think I got everything. And I'm going to paint this base like a blue. The reason I'm doing that is because this looks like the top of a tower. And so it would make no sense to have grass here. I mean, why would a dragon land on this itty bitty little hut? It's not a hut, it looks like a tower. And so I'm going to paint this blue. And then I'm going to put on sealer. Then I'm going to, I have like this snow type stuff that I can glue on there and make it look like clouds. So, give me a few minutes, and I'm just gonna have to edit the time lapse. So just bear with me. All right, now I'm using Brilliant Blue. Now the whole miniature is not completely dry, but I think that the base down here is dry enough. Yeah, see, there we go. Now I'm just going to worry about painting the base, and then I'll get into getting into the little cracks and crevices at the bottom of that little tower. I did prime these. I use Rust-Oleum primer, flat primer. I do not use primer and paint mix, because you're just asking for problems. Because then one game company I usually look forward to when I go to Gen Con is S2 Adventures. They're the makers of Dungeon Dwellers. I had to think for a second. It's one of my wife's favorite games, and we play it whenever we get a chance. We actually just recently played it. My intention when I started this whole video series, before it was a Christian Mr. Gamer, it was Gaming with a Purpose. And then I realized that there was a lot of other Gaming with a Purposes out there. So, anyways, we wanted to do a playthrough. Maybe not live, but just a playthrough video. It's there because some of the rules are a little bit confusing. And when we first bought the game and started playing it, we had to ask a lot of clarifying questions, which wasn't necessarily defined in the rule book very well. So then I can start to kind of get into that tower. Nice. At least it bounced off of this metal thing here. Nothing got damaged, no paint got smudged. I did get some blue on my finger though, so I'm sure there might be a little bit on the edge of this base that needs to be touched up. Yep, I see it right there. I mean, there's just so many things that me and my wife are doing this year, too. Just outside of, the exhibit hall and what games I want to check out. We're going to play some games, too. Games that we're familiar with. We were going to play Harry Potter, but looks like we're not going to now because we have other things we need to do instead, or want to do instead, should I say. We're going to play Legendary, win a box of Incredible Hulk. So hopefully we win a box. And then we are also going to play Pathfinder. Pathfinder Adventure Card Game is one of our favorite games that we play together. And then we have a Masquerade Ball, the Alpha, and I think it's Greater Than Games maybe, is hosting. So definitely that. And then Geek and Sundry runs Alpha, so there's going to be some people from Geek and Sundry there emceeing the whole shebang. I have a cousin that really likes Critical Role and Geek and Sundry and stuff, and he's a little sad that he doesn't actually get to go to Gen Con this year. I feel kind of bad for him, because I'd just love to take him. He's only been one time, and I think he loved it. It's been a few years since he went. Looks like I got one more spot to kind of touch up, blend in. Alright, so then just set that down, let that dry. Alright, before we actually wash, I do want to add some highlight. That's something I did state earlier. So, it's a Phoenix Red. Add very little highlight. Let's see here. Need a really nice detailing brush. There we go. So I just want to add a little bit of highlight to the top of this horn here. Using polished bone. Just dot the tops of these little spikes back here. There we go. Kind of highlight some of these little, just the very middle top of the platelets in the back. I'm just barely touching my brush to the paint, because I do not want too much on there. The back of his leg. Then I'm just gonna add a little top of his toes over here, because the sun would be hitting him. Get his kneecap right there. Yeah. There we go. Now, let that dry, and then we'll seal it. All right. So time has lapsed. I actually went ahead and did the sealing since it's just a boring process. The majority of it is dry. The base is still kind of drying, but what I'm going to do is look to see what areas of the base I can start adding that snow to kind of help make it look like it's a cloud effect. But so far, this is what we have. After all the wash. And those platelets turned out the way I was hoping they would. So normally what I do with glue is I kind of like add water and kind of wipe it on. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to put it directly onto the base. Areas. And then I'm going to take a brush and smooth it out the best I can. I want to kind of look like cloud, so I'm going to add some various places. Some glue over here, move it over there. The reason I put it on thick this time is because I want it to bulk up. I'm hoping the glue will help it do that. Sure, get that glue off. And the nice thing about Elmer's glue, it's water soluble. So I'm going to take this Citadel snow here, kind of like how I did with that grass that one day. Open it up. Stick this down in there. I'm just gonna I may have to take a paintbrush and kind of dust some of that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more glue. I'm going to kind of bulk up on top of it. Just around the edge. Take this paintbrush, kind of smooth it out some more on top. Now, add some more snow on top of that. then voila, clouds in the sky. I think I'm gonna add some more glue to this edge here. And help push that over a little bit. A little more snow. Just bloop, bloop, bloop. Make sure this is dry, and what I'm trying to do is just kind of remove that snow effect there. And then that is done completely. It's ready for play once it dries. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.